They say it's all in the details. This episode is all about the activities I did on Risky Business, our 1985 Porsche 928 project car. And on Wednesday, my focus was cleaning the console, trying to remove the glue, as well as inspecting and cleaning all of the components that make up the console to make a determination of what I had to replace. Spoiler alert, it's pretty ugly. Stay tuned. Before I get into Wednesday's activities, a quick update on my equipment. If you've been following all of my videos, I'm a big fan of steam cleaners. And in many of my videos, particularly from last winter when I was working on the engine of the 928, I relied heavily on my Brio 500cc steam cleaner. Unfortunately, in June, it just shit the bed. I found it was getting a circuit fault and overheating. So in June, when I went to use the unit, it wouldn't turn on, and a little diagnostic work, I found that a wire had come off. Long story short, when I tried to put that back in, it would kick out my circuit breaker, and the unit would start frying that wire. So the boiler, this wire was in the boiler. I tried to rectify it. Unfortunately, Brio's customer service is based in Toronto. It was horrible. They don't have a price list posted that you can just order parts. You have to go back and forth with one of their techs. It takes 2 or 3 days to get back and forth. Anyway, after a month going back and forth with these people, I've had enough. I didn't want to buy a Brio again. I did a lot of research, and I bought a McCullough unit on Amazon. This Wednesday's activities was the first use of it. It's a decent unit, other than the fact it's, color scheme reminds me of the Boston Bruins. I'll get over it. Other than that, it seemed to do the job on the things I've put in front of it so far. In the center console of the Porsche 928, I'll go from top to bottom. So you start out, there's a central vent. Underneath that is the HVAC unit. Immediately under that is a small warning system. I think they call it the CIS. That has a warning light if anything is wrong with the car, as well as the central locking point. That's also the turn-on button location for the air conditioning. Below that is the stereo, and below that, for this vintage of 928, is the dated LED clock. Just beyond that, of course, is the shifting mechanism. As you can see from this video, the console was quite dirty, and the switch holder is rusted and needs to be repainted. This is the filth I'm dealing with, and I wish you could smell it because it ain't pretty. Not only does this smell bad right now before I steam clean it, you can see in this shot here, that's the seal for that top vent that meets to the blower unit of the HVAC behind the dashboard. That foam rubber is just completely shot, and I'm going to have to replace that. So I just ripped it out. So the first thing I worked on, and there I am using the McCullough steam cleaner, was the transmission shift detent. So all of those, that's a rib piece that moves with the shifter. There was a lot of embedded dirt in those cracks. And already just doing this, everything started to smell better because the beauty of steam is it just disinfects so nicely. So here I am just using that, getting into the cracks. I love it because it's non-evasive. It works safely on these plastics, and it just does a nice job of getting in. And here I am just looking at the underside, cleaning that up. I have a little detailing trick. Unfortunately, the bottle is turned the other way. Honda at your local motorcycle shop sells a wonderful product that is a plastic cleaner. I got this tip from a professional detailer a couple of years ago, and the stuff is about my local Honda shop. At my local Honda motorcycle shop, I think these were only $6 a can. It's actually cheaper. It was $3 cheaper a can there than at Amazon, which was charging $10 a bottle. So you'll see that I spray this on, and it does a wonderful job, not only polishing up the plastic, but cleaning any remaining residue that the steam broke up. Now in this shot, I'm using a Sharpie marker to better define the worn shifter detents. I was experimenting a little bit. I've got an idea of how to improve this, but you see I'm trying to get more detail back into the shifter. Sharpie marker works great for this, but then here I am using acetone to clean the excess off, make it look a little bit better. There's the before shot before it was cleaned, and there it is afterwards. So a lot cleaner and no smell anymore. Next up on the list was take a look at the clock. In an earlier video, I showed how I was able to connect 12-volt power to this, and it still works, so we are going to put it back in. This was one of the cleanest pieces on it, other than the fact that the wiring had been eaten away by mice. Clean that, and that is, of course, the trim piece that holds the clock, and this was one of the cleaner pieces as well. Now we get into the switch holder, which you can see is very rusted. I used the steam cleaner to break away the old paint, and steam cleaner won't take rust, so I had to sand this, but you get a flavor for what this looks like. Now, when this is placed in the console, only that edge, that beaded edge, shows. The switches hide everything. So here I am sanding it, getting it ready for paint. And here I am spraying it with caliper paint. I like caliper paint because it has a high solids content. It's very durable and is heat resistant. So had a can of it laying around and figured I'd just coat it with that. And so there's the before shot. And then there it is. I'm going to put a couple more coats on it. Okay, this is the trim piece that fits between the radio and the HVAC unit. This piece is intact, needed only minor cleaning. There is one side tab that is broken off. I do have the piece, so I'm going to attach that off camera. I'm going to use JB Weld to do that. All right, next up was the HVAC unit and cleaning this up. Had to be very careful with this, as that little piece in front of me is $1,300 from what I've seen. These are they're very expensive if you have to replace it. It seemed to work when it was in the car, so I'm hopeful that I don't have this causing a problem. Cleaned up nicely. The steam is very effective on cleaning this without damaging the part. And there you see it's cleaning up very nicely, keeping it wiped up so that the condensed water doesn't get into the board behind it. But this is the trim piece that goes underneath the shifter mechanism. And when I pulled it out, there I'm showing it how it's supposed to be. Not only am I missing a piece to connect that, this was just too far gone. Luckily, this part is readily available, and I did find one on eBay. The part number is lined up, and so that will be here in a couple of days. That was $40, so I'm okay there. Now, you see me looking up another part, and I'm on 9/28 are us. And here I am a couple of days ago. If you watch the video from, I think, 2 days ago, here I am reefing on with a pair of pliers to get the temperature sensor out. And the damn thing just would not come out. And this was an expensive mistake. I basically ruined the part. I already have the trim piece that fits on the outside of the dash. But the way I ruined that sensor, with me rebuilding everything else, I went ahead and ordered a new one. I don't really want to have to pull the dash out later. Because I wasn't careful, that cost me $227 for that part. Luckily, 9/28 are us has it in stock and should be here by Monday. So right below the HVAC unit is that control piece where the AC switch is controlled. There's that hazard flasher warning light just right of it, and on the far end is the warning light. Unfortunately, this piece literally just disintegrated in my hand as I pulled it out. Not only is the board cracked and the bulbs are out of it, one of the wires is slightly chewed, and then some other plastic tabs would just literally break off. The parts holding this thing together, the tabs holding this together, literally were so brittle that they just came off. I just said, and on top of that, pad printing on the red lights is faded. So I've ordered a new part. I found one on eBay, and that was another $200 part. So really an expensive day at the Guys with Rides garage. So just $500 in replacement parts for the center console. And then you add in the $477 for the Blaupunkt radio I talked about the other day. And we're at $1,000 just in the console rebuild. So a very expensive day at the Guys with Rides garage. All right, finally, I'm starting to use the steam cleaner to try and get the glue off. I've been letting it soak. I've been using Glue Be Gone to soak the old adhesive that was holding the original leather on. And I've been trying to use a combination of that along with my steam cleaner to try and get all of this old adhesive off. I really am a bit leery about leaving the adhesive on because I just want to make sure I have a nice smooth finish as well as a good bond for the new glue. So this is taking me a long time. I'm not going to waste your time showing you how I cleaned it. You get the idea though. I'm using steam, Glue Be Gone, and just some good old-fashioned elbow grease. And the next time you see this piece, it will be cleaned up and ready for the new vinyl cover. So that's a wrap on all the activities I was able to get done on Wednesday, September 14th. I'm going to spend the balance of today getting the console itself, all of the adhesive off and getting it cleaned. So there won't be another video today. I will, the next video I'll post is when I start putting on the new skin. So that should be available, I'm hoping Friday or Saturday at the latest. So as I'm making this video, we are now at 980 subscribers. We are only 20 away from the magic subscriber number. So if you've been subscribed in the past week as you've watched us, I really appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed yet, please, I encourage you to do so. And if you enjoyed this content, press the like button and comment, as that helps tell the YouTube algorithm to share this with more people. So thanks for watching. Have a great day, and we'll see you soon. Take care.